لا شريك له and I testify to anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh sallallahu alayhi wa sallam amma ba'd. Today, Biography is due Qadr the 9th, corresponding to September the 26th, 2012. And we are continuing with our reading about the biography of Imam Sufyaan Ath-Thauree, rahimahullah ta'ala. His name and lineage. His full name was Abdullah Sufyaan Ath-Thauree. The word Ath-Thauree means that he was ascribed to the tribe of Thar, and in his case, the tribe of Thar from Mudar, and not the tribe of Thar from Hamdan. In the past, and to some degree in the present, Arabs meticulously recorded their lineages. They excelled in the branch of knowledge known as genealogy. The average Arab was, at the very least, well acquainted with the lineage of his family and his tribe. The specialist, who was Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, was the most eminent specialist of his time, especially during the pre-Islamic days of ignorance. He knew about the lineages of many tribes. Some men were able to trace their lineages back 7 or 8 generations. Others were able to go much beyond that. So the following is the lineage of Imam Sufyaan Ath-Thauree. And keep in mind that Ibn means son of. Sufyan ibn Sa'id ibn Masruq ibn Habib ibn Rafa ibn Abdullah ibn Mohaba ibn Ubayd ibn Abdullah ibn Munfid ibn Nasir ibn al-Harith ibn Salaba ibn Amr ibn Milkan ibn Thar ibn Manat ibn Ud ibn Tabitha ibn Ilyas ibn Mudar ibn Nizam ibn Ma'ad ibn Adnan. So you can thus see that his lineage is known almost all the way back to the time of Abraham, or Ibrahim alayhi salam. And these are a few of the titles by which Imam Sufyan became known. He was known as Sheikh al-Islam, Imam al-Hafiz, and the chief of all the practical scholars of his time. And he was the author of Al-Jamal, a book in which he compiled a number of hadith and sayings of the companions. From his birth, Imam al-Dhahabi, may Allah Ta'ala be pleased with him, said, it is universally agreed upon that he was born in the year 97 after Hijrah. And the Khalifa ibn Sayyad said that both Sufyan ibn Sa'id al-Ath-Thauree and Malik ibn Anas were born during the Khalifat of Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik. Abdurrahman ibn Mahdi said, I asked them, Sufyan and Malik, about their age, and both of them agreed that they were born during Sulaiman's Khalifat, the time during which he lived. To properly study the biography of any man, one has to know at least a little about the era during which he lived. And although the scope of this work does not allow for a detailed discussion of the topic, I will at least briefly summarize here the pertinent facts about the era during which Imam Sufyaan Ath-Thauree lived. If one has to sum up the matter in one sentence, one could say that Imam Sufyan lived during one of the golden eras of Islam. The golden era of Islam was the era of the Prophet ﷺ and the rightly guided Caliphs. That being said, Islam did continue to prosper and did go through various lesser golden eras, one of which was the era during which Imam Sufyan lived. By the time Imam Sufyan was born, Islam had already spread both far to the east and far to the west. The Muslim nation was one of the superpowers of the world, and many non-Muslim peoples lived under the rule of Islam. That being said, it must be understood that when I speak of the golden eras of Islam, I am comparing the era we live in to the era in which Imam Sufyan lived. Imam Sufyan, on the other hand, compared his era to that of the companions. Many evils were present during his lifetime that were not present during the lifetime of the companions, and he therefore felt that he was living during evil times, a theme that we will discuss repeatedly in various sections of this work, inshallah ta'ala. Imam Sufyan lived through the caliphate of many rulers, first during the Banu Umayyah Dynasty, and then during the Banu al-Abbas Dynasty. The Banu Umayyah Dynasty. Imam Sufyan was born during the caliphate of Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik. Sulaiman conquered many lands and established peace and prosperity throughout the regions of the Muslim nation. But perhaps he is best known for having fired governors who had been appointed by al-Hajjaj, the well-known, much despised, and greatly feared tyrant. Furthermore, Suleiman emptied the various prisons of Iraq, granting freedom to the men who had been wronged by al-Hajjaj. Suleiman also revived the practice of performing congregational prayer when the time for prayer entered. So, for example, if the time for Asr began at 3, he would hold the congregational prayer at that time. And I say revived because for some years rulers of the Banu Umayyah dynasty had allowed the Sunnah to die away for delaying the time of congregational prayer. One of the best things Suleiman did was also one of the last things he did during his lifetime. He appointed Imam Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, may Allah Ta'ala be pleased with him, to replace him as Khalifa of the Muslim nation. In the 2 short years that Umar ibn Abdul Aziz ruled, he managed to spread peace and prosperity throughout Muslim lands. He was a just and righteous ruler who revived through his noble deeds and fair dealings the memory of the 4 rightly guided caliphs, to the extent that many have given him the label, the 5th of the rightly guided caliphs. When Umar ibn Abdul Aziz radiallahu anhu died, Yazid ibn Abdul Malik, who was another brother of the above-mentioned Suleiman, assumed the reins of the leadership over the Muslim nation. In some respects, he adhered to the methodology of Umar, and in other respects, he was extravagant. His caliphate was followed by that of his brother, Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, who was a prudent and wise leader. He was also careful and just when it came to dealing with the wealth of Muslims. For instance, he would allow no man to put money in the Muslim treasury until he swore 40 oaths that that wealth was taken or derived through lawful means. The next ruler after Hisham was Al-Walid ibn Yazid ibn Abdul Malik, who outwardly displayed certain evil characteristics and a sense of shamelessness. It is not surprising, therefore, that he died a violent death. In the end, his enemies surrounded him, then killed him, and then crucified his body upon them. After his death, Yazid ibn al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik assumed the position of leadership over the Muslim nation, but his rule was a short-lived one. He died only 6 months after he first became Khalifa. The Banu Umayyah dynasty was coming to an end. Ibrahim ibn al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik became the next leader of the dynasty, but was then removed from the office only 70 days later. He was followed by Marwan ibn Muhammad ibn Marwan ibn al-Hakam, the last of the Banu Umayyah leaders. Okay, it's time for Fajr. Inshallah ta'ala, we will continue this another time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليكم.